when you join the Community Pay It Forward family. Your business can be seen because people know your business will offer hope to organizations like Todd Lingle of CARES Foundation. CARES Foundation is a proud mission partner of Community Pay It Forward. CARES Foundation is dedicated to educating young drivers of the dangers of impaired and distracted driving. Every sale through Community Pay It Forward helps support incredible organizations like the CARES Foundation.
Hello, world. My name is Z, or you can call me Mr. Z. I am a web developer, and I am also a consultant at Z World Webs. My one goal is to develop custom websites that are specifically catered to your organization's needs. I completely understand that building a website is an exhilarating, exciting, and significant step in connecting with your audience. Your organization has Z potential to make a meaningful impact, whether it's supporting animal rights, advocating for equality, combating human trafficking, or honoring the brave individuals who have served our country. Your mission is too important to be held back by the challenges a website can present. And I am here to ensure that your website works for you, not against you. Whether it's maintaining, developing, or redeveloping a custom website that is specifically catered to your needs. And with that being said, I would be more than delighted to learn more about your organization and, of course, develop a website Z World is waiting for. Thank you.
And good morning, everyone. It's Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PAC channels. This is Footprints Forward. A couple real quick messages, and then we're going to get on to the Joel show with Rewired for Men. One, happy Thanksgiving. It's coming up this week, as I'm pretty sure all of you know. It's coming up this week. Look, you're going to be together with friends. You're going to be together with family. Alcohol may be involved. Other substances may be involved. Not that I condone that stuff, but not that I care. Have fun. Just be responsible. Be careful. Please do remember that other people are around, and you make sure that you do everything responsibly. If you have made a little bit too much for your family to digest, please share it with someone else who's not as lucky as you. Take it to shelters, take it to the street, hand out extra leftovers to people who need that help. I know here in Colorado, the temperature is supposed to drop in the next couple days. So if you have extra coats, if you have extra hoodies, throw them in your car, folks. When you're going shopping, just give them to somebody who can desperately use the warmth. Um, you know, people are out there who need our help. Let's make sure that we try to help people out. Okay, this is the perfect time to really start changing our ways and making sure that when we go to do something, we can support everyone. You can support our show and you can support our program by using this QR code up here in the corner. This is how you can help me keep this content in the air, on the air. The other thing that you can do is right below us are some of the social media outlets that we're on. Please hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. Please, let's get us out there. Let's get this going because we do have the 37 hours coming up, 37 hours of positivity. Please make sure that you are recording a message to someone or no one. Record a message just in general of love and support to people. The miracle of the season is about how we can do this better together. So use the QR code up in the corner for this one, and you can record a message. You can support our program. You can become a sponsor to the program here in the next couple days. It's going to have a silent auction that's going to be going up. If you've got something that you would like to donate that we can auction off to continue our drive to get more books into hospitals, please do that. You can also start collecting books from your business, from your workplace, from your neighborhood. Ask people to start putting together children's books and board games. Take them to your local hospital. If you let us know that you're involved in doing this, we'll send you some labels that you can add to each book as a member of Community Dare to Carry Cub Club. And you can take in, and it's an easy way to get them to the nurses so the nurses know all they have to do is put their name on it and give it to the children. And we'll also shout out what you're doing, where you're doing it, and people can help you collect and donate these books and board games for your local hospital. You don't have to send them all the way to here to Colorado. You can do this in your own neighborhood. You can be a huge part of what we're doing. Our end goal here, folks, is to make sure that we are taking books to every hospital in the world for kids who have to spend time in hospitals. So use the QR code up in the corner, scan it, help us make a difference to children who have to spend time in the hospital. Record that video. You make the world's best cookie. Share the recipe. Record yourself baking them, send it to us, and we'll play it on this 37-hour video. This 37 hours is going to make a huge difference, and it's going to give people positive news, positive showing of sharing, caring, loving, and living the proper way. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's make an impact this season. Let's show people that we can be the miracle of the season. If you're a Jewish individual, if you celebrate Judaism, if you celebrate Muslim, if you celebrate any other religion, please reach out to us. Share with us. What is your season? What is Hanukkah? What is Kwanzaa? What is the winter solstice? What is all these other wonderful, wonderful traditions that are out there that some of us have never heard of? Tell us about them. Fear is brought on by the unknown. Let's stop letting this be unknown. Let's teach each other what's going on. Let's get this going. Let's start sharing. We have a wonderful, wonderful show coming up today with Joel. really, really good friend. And then we have an awesome show that's going to happen on Wednesday. Oh, excuse me, with a friend who is finally returning to the program. Finally, was able to get Maria Dolores down and pin her down, and her and I recorded an episode for Community Impact on Wednesdays. So please join us then. But for right now, please enjoy this edition of Rewired for Men with Joel White.
It almost sounded like our record skip there. Did you hear that? Like right there
Oh,
in the middle, it just kind of yeah. So Joel and I are having a little bit of fun today. I found the music tracks and I've been playing around with some of that, and of course I had to go and play some like princess intro or something at first. I don't think that one would have worked for us at all, brother. So
I don't mind. I don't mind a bit of play. I like the
yeah,
sound of that bit of a boogie. Do you know what? Do you know what I
yeah,
also noticed was
yeah,
like that
yeah.
first screen that you've put in with a white background, the black writing said, "The views that people express don't belong to a source organisation." I'm like, yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. And if you've got any issues, get in touch with us and we'll respond within 5 days.
Yeah, hey, 5
Sorry,
business days. I say 5
5
business days.
business days.
That's right, because I'm not gonna respond over the weekend, so, you know, because I believe in family magic.
Look at you! Hey, it's gotta get those sound effects in.
There we go, I mean, hey, it is what it is, no, I'm not gonna continue, but,
Go on.
oh,
Sad face.
good God, we could be sitting here all day just playing right now, so
Oh, but it's funny, but you said something which is really important in there, despite a joke. You know, we kind of touched on that before. You know, how many men do switch off at the weekend and be with family? Do you know what I mean? And friends, and actually enjoy that quality time together, and not find themselves literally working 7 days a week and wonder why the wife or the husband or the children are upset because you're not there. You know
oh,
what I mean?
Joel, I'll
You're just not there.
look, my last marriage, I was working 70 hours Monday through Friday. I was working 70 hours, and then the weekend would come and I was on my bike and I was out with friends. And it's just because I was unhappy at home. And when you're unhappy at home, you're going to do stuff like that. When I first got with my current wife, she knew what kind of worker I was because I am. I'm one of those guys that when I do something, I want to win a prize for it. When I was a drinker, there was nobody who was going to drink more than me. Nobody. When I have a motorcycle, there's not going to be anybody who's going to ride more than me. When I smoke cigarettes, nobody could smoke more than me. When it comes to work, I want to work and nobody's going to outwork me. I've just got that kind of personality that, but Adrian told me, you know what? If I'm going to move from New Mexico and if we're going to give this a shot, that ain't going to happen. Your weekends are for family. And I'm like, okay, you got
Yeah,
it. And she understands that like this upcoming year, February 22nd is on a Sunday. She knows that's an important date. That's our uh, uh, veterans 22-hour podcast, and she's okay with that. Every once in a while, it's okay that I have to jump on something, but I respect her, and I love the fact that if my kids call, if any of our kids call, if the grandkids show up on the weekend, grandpa's not working. Grandpa's, we already know grandpa's off, grandpa's present, I'm here. And
Yeah.
that's become really important to me because it does make me more present, and it's got it to where I can shut down my mind a little bit, which is really good for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely massive. You know what I mean? You said a lot of things in there. One of the key bits, what you said there, is a lot of men find themselves in relationships that aren't healthy, that aren't
Yep.
productive. They're just awful. And a
Yep.
lot of default response for a lot of men is make themselves busy. They make themselves busy. They don't have to face it. Don't have to deal with it. But unfortunately, as we know, it just gets worse and worse and worse. It doesn't go away, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it can be hard, you know, find yourself in an unhealthy relationship, particularly if there's children involved. You know what I mean? But I always talk about, you know, the idea of short-term pain, long-term gain, or is it short-term gain, long-term pain for a lot of people out there? It's really important. You know, it's quite interesting. There's a standard age-old phrase in the UK when couples are going through difficult times that they'll stay together because they're doing it for the kids.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
no one really asked the kids what's best for them, did they? And to some degree, you can actually make it worse for your kids because they're witnessing two parents who obviously hate each other and despise each other unfold in front of them. You know, and what's quite interesting, whether we want to believe it or not, you know, A, doesn't matter how young your child is, they do remember, and B, children learn through observation, not necessarily what you say to them. So yeah, you're not doing your kids a favor by staying together from that degree, and all that spills into the weekends. Like you said, your weekends should be quality time if kids are
Mm-hmm.
around or your wife's around or whatever it is. You know, I've got my son. Some weekends my son is with me, and it's me and him time. We go out on little adventures. It's not daddy works on the computer and I just sit watching TV. That's
Yeah.
not the thing to do. Do you know what I mean? And if anything, what you always got to reflect upon, kids don't stay kids for long. They grow up quick and they remember.
Yeah, brother. That's the one thing that I saw. You introduced me to your son the other day, and I looked at the little, I looked at a little face, and it was so weird because my my son's, Free is over 30 now,
Yeah,
and Justice is 23. So, my babies aren't babies anymore, I mean, my babies are my grandkids that came along in the marriage, I've got a 2-year-old granddaughter, I got a 4-year-old granddaughter, uh 6, 7, 9, and 2 14s, so I mean, there's it's funny how that whole thing starts again, but I mean, it's such a fascinating thing, and being able to take and concentrate on them is so much more important. And
yeah,
don't get me wrong, I love working. I I I hated my job. I hated my job, but I loved doing as good as I could for my job. I
yeah,
wanted to make sure that nobody was going to walk up after me and go, well, this guy doesn't do shit. He can't get this done right. This looks like garbage. Somebody has to redo it. No, when I got done with the job, as much as I hated my job, it was done right. And
yeah,
that's really the way I like to see things. I cannot stand it when somebody has to follow behind me and redo what I've already done, and as the old saying, did you half-ass it, um and I just I I am not a guy who can put up with the half-ass thing. If you're there, get it done.
Yeah.
You know, you can bitch and moan about it, but what good's that gonna? All that's gonna do is make it even worse. Just get it
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, no,
So,
absolutely. You're getting something there as well. When I think on myself, I do the best I can with whatever work I've got to do. So I don't want somebody else having to come in to pick up where
mhm.
I got it wrong or left off. And for me as well, in return, I don't like it when other people make you look like an idiot because they've not done what you've asked them to do. Do you know what I mean? So it's vice versa from that degree. Everybody's working together. I just want to check something out that you were talking about before. When you talk about the different children, grandchildren, they are related to you, yeah? You've not gone around and collected them off the street and brought them in.
Nope.
You've not been a Pied
I'm
Piper.
yeah. Nope. Unfortunately, I'm not related to a single one of them. I collected them with the wedding. They're all my wife's natural grandkids, and so I inherited them. I've adopted them. They're mine now. So, one of the uh, uh, just they're my little angels now. I'm Grandpappy Z. So, you know, um, but I mean, having I love having grandkids, and I never thought I didn't know when that was going to come around. My boys, like I said, we don't have any. My boys don't have kids yet, and I tell them, hey, don't rush into it just to have a kid. Don't
Yeah,
do that. Don't don't do that. So
yeah,
be ready, because
absolutely.
it's not something you can just take and look, we've already got enough. And this is something that this is going to be a bit of controversy here.
Dun,
And
dun.
I'm yeah I
It's not a sound effect.
yeah,
Dun,
yeah,
dun.
have the dun 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 sound, so unfortunately, but we we sit here, and in America, one of the biggest controversies are abortion. Okay. Um, I'm not a fan of abortion. I am not a fan of abortion, but I also don't have the right to tell anybody what to do. I
Mm,
don't have that right. Um, but my thing is all these people who are really, really strong for pro life. My question to them is, how many kids have they fostered? How many kids have they adopted? Because there are so many kids on the street right now that weren't wanted,
mm,
and these are kids that they were born without any thought, most of them. You know, that this was a good night one night and a bad rest of their life for the parents, because they
yeah,
just didn't want this kid, you know.
yeah,
And that's tragic for so many people. That's just so tragic.
yeah. If anything, as well, from a different angle, there's loads of kids who get brought into the world and they're not even wanted per
Yeah,
se. And
yeah,
also some again, what we were talking about before, myths of relationships. Some people believe that they find themselves in a marriage that quite honestly is unhealthy and falling apart. And they think, I know what we'll do. We'll have a child and it'll fix the marriage.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it, it doesn't. It really doesn't. The child didn't ask to come into the mess, but you bring them in. Do you know what I
yep,
mean? And again, that's unfortunately where you find yourselves a lot of the time over here,
yep,
particularly in the UK. If you're going to have a child, at least want the child for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Because the cycle repeats itself if you're not
yeah.
if you're not careful. And it's
I heard it.
awful. Whether you say it to the kid or not, they will work out quite quickly if they're wanted or not wanted based on
Yeah.
your behaviour towards them and what you do or not do.
Look, it is really important if you tell a kid that, oh, I love you, but you were born as a tool. You were born to fix our relationship. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it didn't work. I heard a joke earlier, Joel, and I think you'll get a kick out of this one. Somebody who marries the same person twice, that's like blowing off your leg with dynamite and going and trying to do it again. Realizing you didn't get the job done, so you're going to go do it again. Now you're just a little bit slower. There's no way in the hell you're going to get away from the dynamite. So.
No, again, I'm not saying it doesn't work for some individuals, but from my experience of individuals I've worked with, if it didn't work the first time, why do you think it's going to work the second
Yeah,
time? It's just I don't get the thinking behind it. You know what I mean? I
I
really
can
don't.
see. Yeah, I can see ways it would work. I mean, I really can. If drinking was one of the things that tore the relationship apart, you know, and maybe you
Yeah,
quit drinking, but you also got to remember there's a lot of damage done
yeah,
in that relationship. So yeah, the relationship might, you may have the drinking behind you, but there's always going to be that thing that is going to be there. Well, when you
yeah,
used to drink, you did this and that. And it's like, yeah, well, when I was young, I used to be able to run too, but there's always going to be that discussion there. There's always going to be that
yeah,
thought there that, he is one beer away from being an asshole again.
yeah. Another one which has come up with some individuals I worked in the past, where one, where the man in the relationship or the woman in the relationship has gone and had an affair, and
Hmm.
that is a massive, very very difficult to. It's not saying it's not doable, but it is very very difficult to repair a relationship and move forward from that. And to some degree, that alone can cause PTSD for the individual who's not going to have an affair or got involved. It can be that traumatic. It really can be. And again, I'm not saying the relationship cannot repair and move forward. It's just for obvious reasons. It's really difficult. Very, very difficult.
You have to really take, and you have to be able to put everything aside.
Yeah,
You have to put your own pain, your own pride. You have to be able to put all that aside, because you know what? If you're going to forgive somebody to that extent, it has to be a complete and total forgiveness. You
yeah,
can't just again, you can't half ass it.
yeah,
That's not a situation that you can sit there and go, you know what? I forgive you, but I'm never going to forget. No, bullshit. If you're going to be doing this, you have to forget everything that just happened, because you're coming into another situation that, you know what, buddy, you took that. You took that road. You live with it.
yeah, yeah. And I guess something else which is quite interesting, it's, you know, people who are married, one person wake up in the morning and go, I know what I'm doing, we're going to go to sleep with somebody else. Very rarely do people have that mindset. Unfortunately, there's probably been issues in the marriage before then that has led to one partner straying or whatever it is. Do you know, and
Hmm.
people, I always say, people don't get married to go and cheat on somebody. They don't get married to get divorced. Very very rarely does that happen. You know what I mean? Things have kind of gone a bit skew with along the way. And again, it comes back to that whole piece. What you're saying, yes, person A has gone off and done what they've done, but person B, to some degree, has an involvement in that. Why person A went off and did what they did. There's usually something that has gone on there as well. So again, it's like you're saying, it's the whole thing about forgiveness. But what's your role in that? What did you not do or not do for the other person? And again, off piece but related. There's a comedian in the UK called Jimmy Carr, and he's really, really funny and sarcastic. But he also comes out with some real pearls of wisdom. And you can really tell he's an amazing comedian, because in live shows, people just throw random questions at him or random taunts or whatever, and they'll just take it and ad lib and go with it. But when he drops out the words of wisdom, they're just very profound, very profound. This is a comic, and they're just profound words. And one of them he comes out with is kind of what you were saying about relationships. When you marry somebody, what you've got to understand is it's not about you. It's about the other person serving them. And if you go into with that I'm here to serve the other person, then that comes back as well. And he also says something else which is really interesting as well, which I've mentioned, I think, in the show earlier again. He said in marriages, in relationships, it's not always about 50-50. It doesn't work like that. It might be, you come in from work, you're completely drained, you're worn out, and you're asking your partner to cook dinner for you and, do you know what I mean, and tidy up. So it's like 80-20. But the next time, the next night, or the next week, it could be the other way around. Or it could be 60-40. It doesn't matter. And he said, and that's what he's saying is what actually makes a healthy relationship is the ability to serve each other and give and receive, not give and take, give and receive. And it just makes perfect sense. You know what I mean?
I really think it's funny how some people, this is what my wife's job is, this is what my job is.
Yeah.
Excuse me? I like last night here at home. I cook. I cooked last night. I try to cook at least 3 or 4 times a week, just because it's not my wife's job. I clean up the dishes. I do dishes. I get out, and my wife will get out there and clean up after the dogs. If it needs to be done, we do it.
Yeah.
We don't say, this is your thing, go and do that. Oh, look, the floor needs vacuumed. Well, Adrian will get to it sooner or later. I don't like fat lips. I'm not going to say stupid stuff like that. Okay. So, we have that understanding, and I think it makes the marriage so much better because it's not, this is what you do, this is what I do. No, this is what we do together. And when I'm doing it, we are doing it. And that's really how we look at things. There is no, like you said, there is no such thing as 50-50. It's we do this together.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if I'm doing something, she's doing something.
Yeah.
And neither one of us like being the one who's sitting on our ass watching TV when the other person's doing something else. We like to make sure that we're trying to do something. Now, right now, with a couple of the injuries I've got, I've been sitting there a little bit more, but that's because Adrienne has to, basically force me to. She's like, with your shoulder problem, you just need to stop. So, but I mean, it is true. We just want to make sure that we are doing stuff together.
Yeah.
I don't ever want her to feel like, well, I do 3/4 of everything around here.
Yeah.
And I will never, in this relationship, I could not see myself thinking that. I've been through that. That's the way that my last relationship was. And I hated being in that relationship. I truly, truly did. It was a poison pill there at the end. And I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm not. It was a bad mixture. It was a bad, bad mixture. So, but hey, Joel, we've got here in the States, we've got Thanksgiving coming up, and that's one thing that we started to discuss it a little bit last month, but I really think that we need to get into it more because this is the time of year where there's not a single family celebration where the wife doesn't, and this is one of those situations where the wife needs something and the guy is doing something, but all of a sudden that needs to go get, I need you to go to the store now. And the guy's going to sit there and, and gruff and puff, and it leads to arguments. What do we need to do to work together to make sure that that doesn't happen? Well, damn it, I don't want to get up and go. The football game's on. By the way, turn off the stupid football game. It's just football. Oh, if it was hockey, I can understand. Okay, if it was hockey, I could understand.
I think a
Eh,
lot of I think a lot of it is what we said. It's that ability to be flexible to each of us needs, isn't it? Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? That's what it is. You are a unit working together from that degree, and that can be really, really important. But I guess also as well, don't be carried away by the expectations that you've got to invite everybody, because it's not Thanksgiving, but Chris. We obviously in the UK, we celebrate Christmas, and it's like every year, my dad's side of the family, when his mum and dad were alive, everybody would get together because it was tradition. But you looked
hmm
around the room and nobody wanted to be there. Just nobody wanted to be there. And it's like,
yeah,
why play happy families? Don't get dragged away. Oh, it's Thanksgiving. We've got to make everything great and stick smiles on our faces. Trust me, it's the worst thing in the world. Just don't do things that you don't enjoy doing. What's the point? Do you know what I mean? The clue's in the word Thanksgiving. Thanks to people you want to give to, not invite other people because you feel you have to. That's again one of the worst things in the world that you can do, because it's just not real. Do you know what I mean? And I guess yes, there is the pressure there, but why put yourselves through it? Just be real.
we a lot of times, well, I didn't want to go, but she wanted to go, so here we are. How do we get out of that, Joel? How do we get away from that? Because the truth is there's probably a lot of things that you do that she goes with you that, you know, she really doesn't want to go. She doesn't want to go to, Shields and Dick's Sporting Goods and, you know, Tractor Supply and all. Well, that my wife does. But, I mean, my wife scares me in stores like that. She goes to look at the guns and shit. So I get a little scared. But, no, look, again, we're talking about a give and take relationship here. And if you walk into a situation where, well, I didn't even want to be here, but dude, you're just setting yourself up to have a terrible time.
Yeah. I think if anything, where it comes into is communication. If you know what I mean, communication, feeling that you're able to voice, voice where you're at. It's like I recently delivered a course which talked about this around confidence and communication. And one of the best strategies you can do in situations that might be a bit tense is the I statement. I think, I feel. When I see you doing this behavior, it makes me feel this way, or it makes me think this way. As soon as you come over an I statement, you're more than likely going to get the attention of the person for them to listen to you. And that can really help those difficult situations. If you want to completely end up in an end game in an argument, start the sentence with you. Because
Yeah.
believe me, as soon as you say you've lost. It's game over. It's only going to go downhill from there. Do you know what
Well,
I
I mean,
mean? As soon as you at somebody, it's just
yeah, that's it. That's really all I can picture anyway. Is I can sit there and I can think in my head that if you're in a situation where I'm only here because she want you're gonna fight that night, right? I
yeah.
mean, and this is on you because you can find joy anywhere. First off, you're a guy, okay? You pull out your phone and watch a kid hit dad in the nuts with a baseball bat. You can laugh your head off, okay? You're a guy. You can find enjoyment anywhere. Have fun with stuff. I mean, it, you. I guess maybe you're at a funeral, but I mean,
Yeah, don't pull
most of
out
the
a
time,
funeral.
yeah, don't
Talking about the
treat
phone,
every
by the way.
situation. eh, don't treat every situation like you're at a funeral. I mean, try to have a little bit of fun be creative. Show people, you know what? I wasn't expecting much, but I'm here. Let's do this. How can I help you? What can I do to make this better for you? What can we do together to make this fun for both of us?
Absolutely. And to be honest as well, if you go in with that attitude and then reflect with your partner afterwards, they're more than likely going to listen to you in
Yeah,
regards to taking on board feedback and self-reflect, other reflection or self-reflection. That you're more than likely going to have a healthier outcome than if
yeah,
you go in with you. It really isn't going to be it really isn't going to be a healthy outcome, is it? At the end of the day,
yeah,
from that
yeah.
perspective. And you're right, that's what it's all about. It's being able to do that. But like anything else, if you find if you have truly can say to yourself that you have tried to be proactive in a situation you want to be in, and you've tried to express your needs, and they're not being listened to, then you've really then got to evaluate: is there a pattern here, and is this a relationship worth to stay in as well? So we're back to that from that degree. If you can truly say you have done all the things we're talking about here, and it's still not being a fruitful scenario, then again, you've got to weigh these things up. You've got to look at these things from that degree. Do you know what I mean? It all comes into that. And I know it seems like a million miles away in the past. We've only got to look. We haven't got to look that far back to COVID, where where people were at home together for the first time with nowhere to go, to kind of see what the quality of relationships are like in regards to make or break. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
yeah, and that's what we talked about last time.
yeah,
The beginning of COVID, the population skyrocketed, and towards the end of COVID, the divorce rate skyrocketed. So, it's you realize, oh God, I love these people, but damn, I cannot be with them anymore. So, but yeah, and one of the other problems that we're facing right now, Joel, is both. We have Christmas coming up,
yeah,
um, and that puts a lot of expectations on guys. Take these expectations, and guess what? So do women. Okay,
yeah,
but we're here to talk about the way that the men feel. And we've got an announcement that we're going to be making probably next month with a guest that I'm pretty excited about. So, eh, to get a woman's view in this conversation, which is going to be really great. But one of the we as men, we always want to make sure that our kids have what we couldn't have, and we're gonna drive ourselves to do our best, and that a lot of times just leads to heartache on our end, because the
yeah,
truth is, yeah, kids always want more, but you can get them that brand new gaming system. You can get them that, they're still going to want more. Okay, I hate to tell you this, you didn't win the game. You didn't
yeah,
win the game, because they're still going to want more. You know,
yeah.
you
You
were
know
a
what's
kid. That's the way it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, great. I got, now me, my birthday was Christmas Eve. Okay. So I used to get G.I. Joe. I used to get the G.I. Joe figure for my birthday, and his truck that came in the same package for Christmas. So that was my birthday gifts usually. So I would get the birthday Christmas combined gift, which kind of sucked when I was a kid. Now it's great. Now I don't have to worry about people celebrating it all the damn time.
uh, no, you've hit on something which is really important. Men can find themselves getting preoccupied by they've got to get this stuff for the kids, they've got to get this stuff for the wife, and they've got to go and buy the latest this or the latest that or the. At the end of the day, it's stuff. When really it comes down to it, what a child wants is a dad being there, proactive dad. What the partner wants is the husband being there. Do you know
Hmm.
what I mean? Stuff comes and goes, but the quality of a relationship is what's really important. It's about that. And I think even with Thanksgiving along the line, it's not about stuff. It's about an experience. People remember experiences, not necessarily how much you bought the console for or how much that jewelry was. And if they do, then again, it's perhaps not the best relationship to be in, because the whole point is that quality bond, is that experience, isn't it? Or something you look back on, creating those memories. That's what it's about. And come on, let's face the reality. Don't be afraid to face the reality. Going, I'm broke coming into Christmas. That's okay. Then look at what small things you can get, because the small things matter. It's amazing how much fun you could have with a yo-yo with your child. Do you know what I mean? Or how much fun you could with a second-hand bicycle or something. It's the experience you're creating. I think if we're not mindful that gets lost. It's like, when you've got younger kids, you buy them this expensive toy, and they get more fun from playing with a cardboard box that it
Yeah.
came in than the toy. Do you know what I mean? It's again, let's think about that. And how we
I
prioritize things.
Yeah, and I would even say, you know what? If you're lucky enough to be in a place where it and I live in Colorado and it's sad I have to say this, if you're lucky enough to where you're in a place where it snows during Christmas, go out, make a snowman with that kid.
Yeah,
That's going to mean a hell of a lot more. Go out and get into a snowball fight and let them hit you with the snowball.
yeah,
There that kid's going to forget all the pissed off feelings it had about not getting you know, that a number one toy because hey, they got to hit you with the snowball.
yeah,
And you know what? You as a dad get to sit there and go, "A little shit actually did it." You know?
yeah,
So, which is always a fun thing to sit there and go, "Wow, he actually did hit me with that." Yeah. That kid's got a good arm.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, and this is all complicated by something that is in my mind this has never made any sense to me,
Go on.
and this is something that I really wish there was a way that we could change some of this. And I know you were talking about it. Year end changes to financial situations. Like right now, we've got open enrollment for insurances in the United States, and the fact is that our insurance next year, we're looking at our bills for our insurance hikes that are happening next year, and it's got Americans scared shitless, and it's got Americans looking, going, I can't get anything because the beginning of next year, I am going to get screwed by all of this.
Mm.
You mentioned to me earlier that your government does a spending package that's got you guys all twisted.
For sure, budget day, budget day in 5 days, which basically means the poor get poorer and the rich get richer.
Oh,
It's
you
kind
have
of
a government too. That's what you're
kind of what
saying.
it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've got a government too.
yeah. And someone. Funny enough, I go to a meeting on a Friday morning, every Friday morning. Something called BNI. You have them in America, Business
Yeah.
Network, international groups, and there's an accountant there. And let me think about one of the slogans she says. She says, "Government tax is a penalty for doing well." it's,
Yeah.
basically, it's basically what she says. Joke aside, it's true.
Uh, yeah. Yeah. It is. It's that's an unfortunate truth. But yeah, and it is. I really that's almost one of those situations that you wish that you could take and say, "Hey, you know what, government? Why don't you work with families?
Yeah,
Let's make this change like in March. You know, go from March to March. Why do we have to go from January to January? You know, why do
yeah,
we have because there's always such a fluctuation in spending There's always such a fluctuation, and that just adds to the depression during the holidays.
Yeah.
It adds to the pressure on families and marriages and employment, and it just adds so much pressure on there. And it's something that people have been struggling with for years. And you know, but it is another reason why people struggle. and
Yeah.
and truthfully, Joel, there's a lot of people who they kind of forget about that at once in a while. They know that they're broke, and that's just one of the things that kind of passes by. Well, I know there's a reason why I don't have any damn money, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it is right now because I got all this other BS going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this all fits into that pattern what happens in the UK. Men and women, do the best to make a perfect Christmas. And they just hike up on credit cards and loans and blah 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 and da da da. And then January comes and all the credit card bills come in. And we actually have a name for it in the UK in January. I can't remember the name of it. It's passed me by, but it's like, it doesn't have to be that way. Christmas is going to be there every year. It doesn't just appear at a random time. Do you know what I mean? Plan accordingly to it. And if you know in November, late November, there's always going to be doom, gloom, and despair when they announce the budget, then again, it's not going to be there. Plan accordingly, think ahead, be savvy. Do you know what I mean? It's
Is
really important.
it is so funny that it always occurs to me in November, late October. If we would buy one gift every month,
Yeah,
Christmas would be so easy.
yeah,
Then I don't think about it again until November, late October. If we would buy one gift every year, that's on me. That's not on anybody else. That's on me. If I would shut up and do it,
yeah.
just, forgo getting my energy drinks for a day. I could buy a gift for somebody with a little bit of extra money, and that would make my Christmas season a lot easier. It would
Absolutely,
absolutely take away from the pressure of the credit card bills, and it would make life just a lot easier.
absolutely. The other thing which is interesting as well is, and again we touched on this a few shows back, that whenever there's a big day coming like Mental Health Awareness Day or Valentine's Day or Christmas Day or Thanksgiving Day, people put all this effort into one day, but they forget about the other
Yeah,
364 days of the year. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
what about the rest of it? What about the rest of the time? What do you do during the rest of the year? Do you know what I mean? Again, it's just that fixation that people get trapped into, or trying to perform and compare and make it perfect and blah blah blah. And if only they put that same amount of energy in to the rest of the year, that same level of kindness of care. And again, off piece but kind of related. It's watching. What was I watching? I think last month, my mum stayed over and she was watching this program about the last. It was quite a few years ago. We had a really horrendous storm hit the UK, and it was like really really heavy snow followed by a lot of freezing. And it was talking about how people bonded together and really helped each other and da 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 and yeah. And then when the snow had gone and the ice had gone, people just got on with it again. It's like, hold on a minute, why should it need crisis for human beings to help each other? Why? I don't get it. You shouldn't have to wait until crisis point to be nice to your neighbor. Do you know what I mean?
It,
I don't understand human behavior sometimes, or how people are.
well, think about it. That's every funeral. Every funeral, you say to a family member, we need to have a family reunion before someone else dies. The only time I see you is when there's a death in the family.
Yeah.
You know, well, stop procrastinating. You
Yeah.
know, we can get this done. It's a simple fact of one person getting up and doing something could make a huge difference. And this stuff could happen. And again, this is all about planning. You know, it's about planning, and it's about just getting something done. Stop
Mm.
talking about it, you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Without swearing, P poor performance equals P poor
Yeah,
presentation.
yep.
Poor
I was
planning,
trying
P
to
poor
think.
planning. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, piss poor planning. Uh, yep,
Piss
yep,
poor performance.
yep. So, but yeah, I was trying to think of that. I was trying to think of that saying, but I couldn't remember what it was. So do do you still have your son right now?
No, I don't. I don't have my son this weekend. He's with his mum. But again, I tell you what, a couple of things have come up which have made me really reflect on things differently. You know, she went away 14th of October. Did my ex-wife, his mum, whatever phrase you want to use. And I've mentioned before, despite us being divorced, we actually have a really a really good relationship.
Hmm.
It has its moments, but a lot of time we're on the same page. And she left for China to do training for a new job on the 14th of October. She was away for a month. And my God, there was some realization coming out that I really empathize with people who truly are single parents, where the other parent is not in the picture for whatever reason. Honestly, hats off to you guys and girls out there who find yourself in that position. Because I've had a taste of it for a month, and it's hard. It's really, really hard. There is, where do you rest? Where do you get let up? Where? Do you know what I mean? When
Yeah,
you're feeling a bit down and a bit ill, what do you do? It's not as if you can tell your kid just to get on with it and cook for themselves and get
yep,
dressed themselves and drive themselves to school. Obviously, please don't do those things, guys. That's what you're
yeah,
thinking. It doesn't work. 9-year-olds at the wheel of a car, so not a good idea.
yeah. That's we've always heard this, and I'll tell you, it is so true. That's what makes grandkids so wonderful, because you get to sit there and you get to have all the fun in the world with them. You get to do all this stuff, and then you get to give them back to mom and dad. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I filled them full of sugar. Here you go. Sugar
Uh,
and
uh,
caffeine. You did what?
Absolutely. Absolutely,
Yeah,
but also it made me appreciate her more as well.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what we were
Hmm.
talking about before. You can still have what we've been talking about, that quality type of relationship, even if you're not married, if you're divorced or you're just partners or whatever. It still same applies. The same applies of like supporting each other in a different way. And it's like she flew back in on Saturday. I stayed over Saturday night in a separate room. On Sunday, me, her, and our son, three of us, we went to Birmingham. Birmingham's like a city, sort of not far from where I live in Manchester. We went down for the day, booked tickets to go around Cadbury's World. I drove. She was happy buying dinner. Do you know what I mean? We just sort things out between ourselves. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't me saying to her, right, I'm driving, so you've got to do this and you've got
Hmm.
to do that. No, it's all that thing about creating that experience. That's what it's about. It's about
Well,
doing that.
not just creating that experience, Joel, but the one other thing that you did is that you taught your son.
Absolutely.
You showed your son that, you know what, mom and dad are still humans to each other. They're not people that every time they look at each other, they're spitting on each other. They're yelling at each other. They're cussing at each other. They're not married, but they get along, and
Yeah.
that's so important, because if you guys would have stayed together, and you've said this before, if you guys would have stayed together, it would have been tragedy.
Oh yeah.
It would have been tragic, and
I
that's
wouldn't be
really the
here.
way.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest. I wouldn't be here.
So yeah, and I mean, hell, my youngest son, Justice, he said it before. He goes, Dad, I seriously thought you were insane because you were still there. He said, I thought you had no. He's told me before that he thought I had no self pride because I just stayed. I let this continue over and over again. And he goes, I was really concerned for you because you just weren't showing any ambition whatsoever. And it's a lot of times because I wanted to blame the system that mothers always get the sons, the mothers always get the kids, and that I was going to lose another son and I wouldn't have. And the truth is, that's not true.
Mm.
One, and two, even if she did have custody of him, it matters what I do when I get him.
Yeah.
That's what matters. It doesn't matter what happens when she has him.
Yeah.
It matters what happens when you have your child. That is when it's your time to shine.
Absolutely. You know, it is literally about quality time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's about. And some dads might find themselves in a situation where they see their kid once a week or twice a month or whatever it is. Then put everything you can do into that experience with that kid. That doesn't mean you buy them everything under some new car, sorry, new toys, new clothes, new console. No. Just be there. Just be there for that child. Give them something you can't put a price on, which is those moments, those memories. Because things like that, they do remember. They remember that, and that will sustain them until the next time that you see them. They will always reflect back on that.
One of the
That's what
most
it's about.
one of the most important things you can ask your child when you're spending any time with them, whether you see them every day or you see them once a month, the most important question you can ask them is there anything you need from me? Is there anything you need me to answer? Do you have any questions? Do you have any concerns? Help the children understand, and you're going to help them develop.
Mm.
If all you're going to do is take and throw gifts their way, that's what they're going to expect. And again, you're teaching a kid that's how you solve problems. You throw money at a situation, and that's not how problems are solved.
No.
That's how pains in the asses are born. So,
True.
but so, well, Joel, we have a guest coming up next week that we're going to make a huge announcement, and we're really, really looking forward to that. But in May, you and I are going to start something new. You want to kind of hint people up on that?
Go on, man. You go.
All
Gentlemen
right.
first.
Yeah, oh, gentlemen first. I can call a dog in here. That'll in in May we're going to start a new program. It's a men's group. We're going to start a men's group to where we're going to Joel and I are wanting to get together with you, the men out there, and have an actual online men's group to where we can talk through problems, to where no matter where you're at in the world, you can sit down, we can have a casual conversation. If it's something you need to get a little bit of a little bit deeper into, and you'd like to talk to Joel and I, you can let us know. We can throw you in a breakout room. You can have a conversation.
Yeah.
But this is a chance for guys to get together and express feelings that they need to express, or they can talk about, ask questions, and have no shame, have no expectations. Just come in, want to sit down, want to be with a group of guys, and be able to talk to each other. So it's a men's group. We're going to be starting it in May because May is men's mental health month or something like that. There's a reason why it's May. I can't remember what the hell it is.
We'll tell you next month when we remember.
Yeah, we'll tell you. Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah, we'll tell
did
you
talk
when we
about this
remember.
before.
So, but yeah, right now, and like I said, we will have a guest next month and we'll be making a huge announcement next month. We're really looking forward to that. But yeah, coming up in May. And if you want to be part of this, there is going to be uh, a small cost to it, but it's going to be very small. And it's going to be a chance to where you can just come in, can sit down, we can have a conversation, and hopefully it can help people figure some stuff out. And remember this, okay? When you come in and you sit down, what you talk about, someone else is going to be going through something similar.
Yeah.
And what you say can really help them succeed. So come in,
Absolutely.
be open, be honest, and let's do this. Let's have some fun, and let's build some clarity.
Absolutely. And the other thing as well we mentioned last month, which will go hand in hand with this next year, is going to look at putting in a better system, as it were, and getting men to come to our show, to
Yeah.
get men booked in advance.
Yep.
All we're asking for is men to just come on the show, and literally it'll be very similar to what this is like. Just roll with whatever it is. You never know where it's going to go. You never know who's listening, and it's just really important. And the thing, why myself and Zach do this is we want to make a difference to the guys out there.
Mhm.
And by the way, we've got nothing against women. This is not anti-women. This is very much women do matter, but men do as well. And from
Yeah.
that degree, that's why we want to encourage more men to come on our shows, be part of it. And we might actually have some female guests as well. Why not have a mix? But like we say in
Yeah.
there, the group in May onwards is the online group for men to be men and just show up and be present, really, from that degree.
Yeah, I really think that one of the best things that we can do for women is we can, make sure that we're doing our best for men
Yeah.
and helping men through stuff. So, well, Joel, another fun show, another.
Always a pleasure, sir.
I mean, I've had a ton of fun, learned a lot of stuff, and to you, my friend, a round of applause. So, and it's
That's a fun back to you. It's not fair.
yeah, yeah, and you know what? Again, if you got to go to a party and you go to a party and you think that oh my God, I'm just here for you, that's going to cause a fight.
I love it. I love it.
So be
Couple of,
be
couple
careful.
of, absolutely. A couple of things I was going
Uh,
to say as well. In regards to myself, we've mentioned before, you can find me at rewiredformen.com. I've looked at me on the internet. You got a lovely, I can never get my hands right where we're. You got a
yep,
QR code over here to find my page. And can you pay it forward that way, that way,
yep,
that way.
yep.
So by all means, scan it, find out find out more about myself, and I'm
Yeah,
more than happy.
all
Get
of his
involved.
information is over there on that QR code. So just scan that QR code; it'll take you directly to his page. If you are if you do any work with men, please reach out to us. Let's get you scheduled to come on and join us. If you have any questions and you would like to talk about these questions, we do not have to put you on air. You
Yeah,
can still join us and we can help you try to figure questions out. If you want to come on air, you want to talk about this question, come on. Come on. All you have to do is reach out to me at communitypayitforward.us. That's communitypayitforward.us. Just reach out to me. We'll get you scheduled. You can come on air. You can talk to Joel and I. If you have been through something and you would just like to let guys know, you know what, I understand what you guys are talking about on Christmas celebrations because this is what happened to me, this is what I did. Your experience is going to mean the world to someone out there only if we share. So please join us, communitypayitforward.us. Come on, tell your story. Joel, brother man, I know you don't celebrate it, but happy Thanksgiving.
I'll say with
So,
you.
yeah, enjoy yourself a nice turkey sandwich or whatever, and on Thursday, and just join us. So it'll be as real as us eating turkey, thinking that's traditional. So, I mean, if we take and throw some eels on our table, that's more traditional to a actual Thanksgiving meal. But I'm not slurping on any eel, brother. I'm not doing it. Yuck. So, but I look forward to talking to you next month. I look forward to our next show. I look forward to the
Absolutely.
announcement that we've got coming up. We got a lot of stuff coming up here on Rewired for Men show. And the only thing that's missing right now is you. So please join
Yep.
us. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you, Zach.
We'll see you next month.
Next month. Da, da, da.
And to all of you out there, I want to wish the happiest of all Thanksgivings. Please be careful. Please be safe. Please love one another, because you know what? We're all we got. Again, if you can, share a little bit of yourself. Share it with somebody who needs your help. Now, take and put together a plate and take it to a neighbor who had no one. Take some of your leftovers and take them to a homeless shelter and say, you know what? I know it's not everything that you need, but it's something that we got. Take it to somebody you see on the streets. Stay in your car. Offer it to them. Be safe. It's a crazy world out there right now. Be safe. But let's do good. Let's start doing good. Let's start doing good together, and let's make the change that we need the change to be. Okay? Let's stop talking. Let's stop waiting for other people to make this change. Damn it. Let's get together. Let's do it. We have this within ourselves. Let's do it. For Joel White of Rewired for Men, my name is Zach Clayton, president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PAC channel. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a great week. Join us on Wednesday for Maria Dolores of The Human Contract. It's a very important show. Very wonderful lady. Very good friend. And I think it's really going to put an emphasis. As a matter of fact, our next two shows really, really, really do talk a lot about what we're doing with the miracle. So please join us right here on the PAC channels. Again, happy Thanksgiving. We love you. Have a great day.
Hey there, friends. I've been thinking. We all have our strengths, right? I can do this, but I'm not so great at that. I'm pretty good at talking to people, but I'm not so great at adding things into a website or app. Oops. I love speaking, sharing stories, social media, all those hashtags and algorithms. Yeah, that's a jungle I haven't quite figured out yet. Coming up with ideas that bring folks together, I'm all about it. But bookkeeping, let's just say numbers, and I don't exactly get along. But that's okay, because someone out there is good at those things. And when we work together, magic happens. See, Community Pay It Forward has never been about one person. It's a program built by many to support even more. Every one of us brings something special to the table. We all have talents that make us great on our own. But imagine how much stronger we are when we bring all those talents together. That's what Community Pay It Forward is all about. Your skills, my skills, our hearts, working together to make a difference. So tell me, what are you good at? Let's find out together. Visit communitypayitforward.us and join the movement.